and VMware data center virtualization, networking, and I'm into forensic also, right? So a few things that we'll discuss about later, but for your information, I'm AWS certified. I had already completed. I've already completed two times, and I think next year I have to give again. Okay. So this is your certification scope and certificate, career opportunity. So once you complete this AWS, training, and if you become certified, so globally you have a recognition of this certificate first of all. Number two, it's a number of opportunities are there. Like you can apply for AWS cloud architect, you can apply for developer, you can apply for system administration, you can apply for security specialist, you can apply for database engineer, you can apply for data architect engineer, you can apply for business intelligence, right? Number of things are there once you complete a specific series of certifications in AWS. But today we are starting with AWS Solution Architect. And this is a fundamental, this is not a first level of certification. We have a one more certification called AWS Practitioner. But after that, AWS Solution comes in picture. So once you become AWS Solution uh, certified, AWS Solution Architect certified, it means your basically the tracks are open, your opportunities are open. Now you have pretty good understanding where you can land, where you can just go, and you can just seek for your specialty. So guys, so these are the some basic salary structure I took actually from international point of view. Now I'll talk about the first topic because we have very less time for demonstration, and definitely so. In less time, I would like to just explain few more things. And at the end, if you have some questions, you can ask. Uh, what is the cloud computing? You know, so cloud computing means you don't have anything physical in front of you, right? So you must have a like internet connectivity or laptop or desktop with you, and through your laptop, you can have access of your on your cloud, like whether you are using Google, Azure, Microsoft Azure, or AWS, means Amazon's AWS. So everything is available. All these clouds are public cloud, and they are providing services over the internet. Means they having the number of data centers around the world, and through those data centers, they are providing access to you using their interface using the browser. Means you can just open AWS with the browser. You can create any machine, you can install any application, you can create a network, security system, everything you can do. Just like your private data center when you're managing it. So it's really interesting. The first of all, you don't need any physical, right? And you have not to purchase anything. So means if you start your business with a very less amount, even this platform is very useful, right? So in a few dollars, few $100, you can start your business, and if as your business grows, even you can scale your infrastructure as well according to your the scale of your business. So ultimately, what is the cloud? If somebody is asking, so delivery of hosted services over the internet is termed as cloud computing. Like everything is over the internet. Internet is mandatory component. Okay. Now, this is the few things we'll not means we need to talk about benefits of cloud computing. What are the cloud computing? Actually, cloud computing, because of the cloud computing benefits, people are adopting cloud computing. You don't need physical hardware infrastructure. You don't need actually the rigid system or limited system. So you have a number of benefits available, but because of the limitation, the time limitation, I just filtered out only few benefits in this slide, like flexibility, disaster recovery, software updates, controlled capital expenditure, and blah blah. Number of things are there, right? So the first of all, just talk about what is flexibility. So the flexibility means I'm talking about like one server is not sufficient. So you can have multiple servers instead of one server. Or you can say you can take any operating system, Windows operating system, Linux operating system, Mac operating system you can take. So it is absolutely providing a kind of agility on this platform. So you can select any operating system, you can select any configuration of the machine, you can select any number of machines to deploy your application. And secondly, you can also apply auto scaling. Means on the basis of load, your machines automatically will increase and decrease. So that is known as a flexibility, right? So we have a number of things that we'll discuss about in flexibility practically. Second is disaster recovery. Disaster recovery is very easy because AWS is spread out over all over the world, and it is available more than 31 regions. So everywhere you can find in Europe, you have multiple regions. In India, these days we have two regions. In Australia, we have two regions. In Japan, we have a region. In Middle East, in America. So it is almost everywhere. So if you want to make a copy of your, data, so you can immediately, without waiting even for a single second, you can replicate your data from one region to another region. So even if your one region is not accessible or something happened wrong with the data center which is in one region, even though you can access your data from another region. So if I'm talking about the compliance, so the disaster recovery is basically mandatory sometimes for a few companies. And software updates is very easily. So all your servers are connected with the online repository. So all these things we will see practically, right? Controlled capital expenditure. What is the meaning of the controlled capital expenditure? Means if you need only two machines, you will pay for two, right? So means you are using two machines and AWS will charge for two. And if you need a one machine, so you can stop one machine, AWS will charge for one machine. And if you need number of machines to distribute load, so you can start number of machines. So depend on the compute resources you are using, you will pay to AWS. And you have not to. The second is stop guessing capacity. You do not require to purchase any machine or compute resources in advance. And for that, AWS is not charging. So immediately you can decide right now. Let's say I need two more machines. So you can immediately decide and you can launch immediately right now, right? And you have not to pay anything advance to AWS. So means you can scale up and scale down according to your requirement. And data accessibility is available. You can provide, you can access data over the internet. You can access data within the VPC or in the network of AWS. And not only this, you can encrypt your data at rest, right? And for encryption, we have a different, key mechanism like symmetric, asymmetric, number of algorithms that all we can use according to our requirement. Competitiveness is these days increased because of the cloud computing. Now all people, means whether they are big, small, or medium scale, if they want to start business, they can start business with limited and limited even amount, limited budget. Now we have not to think about a big thing like big data center. No. So even if you have a small budget, you can start your business, and you have no limitation of storage. You can store any amount of data. So all these things are saying so benefit of cloud computing, and we are not stopping here. These days in cloud computing, number of security services are there and they are very powerful. Machine learning services, artificial intelligence services, blockchain services, right? So all these things are available with very less efforts, less cost. You can design infrastructure in AWS. Those are almost impossible, and it's very expensive if you design your own infrastructure at your own private data center if you try. Okay, by the way, so and the most important part that I see these days, a new trend is being started, and the and that is a serverless. So for example, in AWS, generally you create a machine, and that machine is known as virtual machine. So technically, we know it as a virtual machine. So when you create any machine in cloud, that kind of a machine is known as virtual machine. But and that virtual machine, for virtual machine, you need some configuration, right? You need to provide some configuration, and it is just like a it seems like a physical machine, but you cannot touch it, right? Everything is there. It has a RAM, it has a CPU, it has a ports, it has everything. Means it has a hard disk, and you can install applications as well in these machines. So these are similar to physical machine. But one more type of service these days you can see is called the serverless service. And in serverless service means you do not require EC2 instance. For example, I just understand. You must be knowing what is a DNS server, domain name system, and we used to configure the domain name system or DNS server in our networks earlier. And you know that it was really technical and tedious job to configure the DNS server and provide services to our internal network as well as over there. But in AWS, Route 53 is a serverless. You have not to configure any server. You will just write resource report and the job is over in a few seconds. Similarly, database server. I'm talking about Aurora. It's a RDBMS. It's a serverless. You don't need a server. Third, uh, like NoSQL database server. DynamoDB. It's a serverless. And if you want to run code in Lambda, it's a serverless, right? The storages you do not manage, those are serverless. So this way, we have many services are serverless, like SNS services serverless, SQS services serverless. Many services are serverless. You must be thinking, sir, what you're saying, we don't know anything about. Okay, you will definitely learn about this. But I'm saying in AWS platform, actually, service is for a specific use case. Let's say if you want to create a machine, you need a EC2 instance, EC2 service. If you want to manage storage, S3 is a service. If you want to create a database server, RDS is a service, right? So for every purpose in AWS, we have a service, right? So similarly, we have some services which are serverless, and for those serverless service, you do not require any virtual machine like Lambda, Amplify, Route 53, API gateway, step function, event bridge, Glue, Kinesis, Cognito, right? My God. So the trend is being changed. Now earlier we were saying we don't need private data center. Now we are saying we don't need even machines. We don't need even virtual machines. And gradually this trend is inclined towards the serverless architecture. Means you don't need in future the server. So for everything you will find a serverless. Like if you want to publish a website in a serverless manner, you can use Amplify. I will show you all these things, right, one by one in your course. And mm, the second the type of cloud you must be knowing. So all these things we'll discuss actually in our, because I don't want to just consume much time here. Private cloud means your private data center, physical machine, physical infrastructure, and you are responsible to manage it. Means you launches physical machines, rack, routers, cables, power supply, and everything security. You just manage, and you providing, and your company means your company is providing now services over the internet. So this kind of infrastructure comes in private cloud. It's a very expensive, but sometimes it is really important, because if you want to maintain security, you want to keep everything with you, because of the data, you are the owner of that data, right? The data is in your hand, you feel that. Now the public cloud like AWS, Google Cloud, now Azure, and Alibaba, IBM, and many more like names we can give. Those comes under the public cloud series. Hybrid is what? Hybrid is a let's say this is a hybrid. See, hybrid means if you want to connect your private data center with AWS, so that is basically mixing of cloud. Means you are connecting your private cloud with AWS. So if you are combining private cloud with the public cloud, it is known as hybrid cloud, and it is possible with the help of private connection. So AWS is providing some services like direct connect. So if you are using direct connect, so you can connect your private data center with AWS. So and it is providing the fiber cable, fiber optic cable, and it is a very high speed cable. So if you want to connect your private data center with AWS through direct connect, we can create this cloud is hybrid. Okay. So similarly, we have these days one more thing is growing, and that is known as multi-cloud. What is multi-cloud? So companies have different taste and different experiences, and now some companies are using multiple cloud. Like they having some part of their infrastructure in AWS. They have some part in Google, and they have some part in Azure. And now they can they want to actually bring everything on multiple cloud. And now if you connect those cloud for that infrastructure, so we can say it's a multi-cloud infrastructure where we are using more than one public cloud, right? This kind of a trend is being increased gradually. Slowly this is increasing. Okay. Now why AWS? Yeah, this is a very important question sometimes people are asking me. So why you are emphasizing over AWS? So you just listen me my question and just understand why I'm just looking means saying the AWS is very important. So have you ever think about when you just go for any networking certification, you always choose CCNA. When you go for any system administration certification, you always choose Microsoft MCP or MCSA. Similarly, in cloud computing, if you want to be a professional in cloud computing, so AWS is a name in industry. And why? These are some answers. Number one, AWS has the largest global infrastructure on this earth. 31 regions means geographical location like Mumbai, Hyderabad, London. These are locations. So these means this infrastructure is spread around more than 31 locations and 99 availability zones, more than 450 edge location, and more than 100 direct connect. I will explain you all these things in like infrastructure. And services I was talking about, more than 200 services. My God. So see here. So it's a little bit, uh, interesting. Let me tell you, AWS global infrastructure. If you see global infrastructure, right? Oh my God. So till 2 days before, we had 31 region. Now they updated. Now we have 32 regions and 102 availability zone. Very nice. Every day I'm finding some changes here, and it is very, you can say it is drastically, rapidly growing infrastructure. So 32 launch regions, 102 availability zone, more than 450 point of presence. I'll explain you what all these are. These are the presence, right? And and you can find each and everything, and even the benefits on this page. Okay. And now I need to talk about you know some services. Just a minute. Yes. See, these are the services. These are the services. These are the list of services in AWS. Let's say this is the compute. Compute is a group of services in which you will have number of compute services like EC2, Lightsail, Lambda. So let's say what EC2 does. EC2 is basically service to create and manage server. Means with the help of EC2, you can create and manage server. Similarly, Lightsail is for the servers. Lambda is also for serverless computing. Serverless computing means you can run code without computers or without a server. We use a Lambda. Similarly, for the container, we have service. For storages, we have multiple services. For databases, migration transfer, network and content delivery, developer tools, right? And customer enablement, robotics, blockchain. Can you see? Amazon managed blockchain, satellite, and you can see management and governance services. These long list, media services, machine learning, analytics. These are the analytics, right? And see security. It's a very high in demand. Like all these services are extremely high in demand. So if you know all these services in security, identity, and compliance, means it's a great way to basically claim a job in the industry. And for that, this certification is very important, right? Money is not a problem. Job is not a problem. The only knowledge is is the one thing. Cost management. So number of services are there, even for the business applications, Internet of Things, gaming development. So number of services are there, and every service will have a minor service, right? So, so here I was talking about a few things why it is important and why it is needed. I was saying the number of services suitable for cloud models, and we have a number of services even for migration. Full migration support is there, and it is integrated with the VMware and virtual environment as well. And number one, and number two, if you talk about the support, like business learning resources, or you can say best business learning resources. And let's say AWS free tier account, AWS is providing, AWS is not charging anything from you. And you will have a 1 year account free of cost. With definitely all the services will have some cap, means means some kind of a limitations you will have. And documentation, AWS documentation is very powerful. You can find each and every detail, yeah, means service in detail. So you can find extreme. You don't require any book. You don't require anything. Everything is available free of cost, and it provides range of hands-on lab free of cost. More than 200 labs AWS is providing separately as a tutorial free of cost. Skill builder. See, you just go there. You go there. I just tell you here. Where is go? Where is it? Yeah. See. Yeah. This is a skill builder. Do you see? If this is your skill builder, you can go in a skill builder and create your account. Let's say I'm logging in again. AWS skill builder. You just write AWS skill builder. If you don't have an account, you can create your account free of cost. AWS is not charging any, right? And let's say I'm signing in I have my account already. So I need to log in. And number of number of tutorials are available free of cost. The thing is, we need your uh see, these are it, right. You need only guidance. So what is important? Which should I study first of all, and how to complete it? What precautions I have to take? Which infrastructure I have to start first, or which course I have to start first, right? Even if you see exam preparation standard course, this is a exam preparation standard course. Can you see? Yeah, this is a exam preparation, and it's all these things are available free of cost. And like data analytics, if you are new for data analytics, you want to learn, and number of things like view all these are good, right? Like identity and access management, enablement. So I will teach each and everything one by one. But for support system, right, AWS is providing all these material free of cost. And this is very rich. And second is hands-on, AWS hands-on. See, hands-on tutorial. And these are also available free of cost. So 157, you can say project or lab are available. Okay. For example, I just this is a cloud related, a compute related few things I need to see. Let's say I want to deploy some automated elastic beanstalk, automated application deployment. So this is a thing that you can see step by step. I'll teach you everything, right? In my this code, everything. But material is ready. But you will understand material only if you have some support, like launch a virtual machine. How to launch a virtual machine? It's a 10-minute process, right? It's a 10-minute process. And if you just go, you can find all step by step procedure, all step by step procedure. But this is through the light cell, not through EC2. It is using a light cell here. So what I'm doing today, I'm just going to take a little, practical idea. So about this, but let me finish this slide. Yeah. So we have a hands-on lab, number of hands-on lab free of cost. We have a skill builder, AWS well-architected frame, and free online conferences. AWS is providing time to time, right? You can see. And why? Again, it is suitable for solution architects. It is suitable for cloud practitioners, developers, operations. AWS provide a training by advanced networking, data analytics, security, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and many other vertical. I was talking about like forensic. Okay. And for certification, if you need to know, means from where I'll get the certification and what are the important things for the certification. So we can know about certification as well. AWS is providing AWS Solution Architect Certificate. If you go on this link, right, it's saying that. So this is certification. Who should take the certification? What is the cost of the certification? $150. And 2 hours, 10 minutes you will take to complete the exam. Approximately 65 questions AWS will ask. If you want to, once your course is completed and you want to means have the certification, we can book certification from here. You can book certification from here. And I explain you, AWS is also providing, examination questions and preparation material for that. And we also giving questions for that, right? So you will understand very easily. Now, now this is the one thing that you can do. And and here, yes, I want to host a website. Yeah, this is a little idea I'm just giving you, like how to host a web server or so a website without using a server, right? That that you need to learn. It's a little, interesting. You will have some idea with how we can complete that task effortlessly, uh, free of cost. So the only thing is you must have a template to host your website. So if the template is ready, if your website is ready, how much time you will take to host your website in a serverless manner? You don't need a server for that. Just understand, I'm not going to use. any server. So see, so first of all, I'll go to AWS. This is my landing page, right? This is my landing page. If you log in into AWS, this is the page you will see. This is the first page of AWS. So first, I'm opening a S3 service. S3 is a scalable storage, just like a Google Drive, right? Just like a Azure's blob. In AWS, we have a object storage S3. So in S3, the first of all, you have to create a bucket in this. So how to create a bucket? Bucket is a kind of a folder where you can store your data. Create a bucket, and in the bucket, let's say I'm writing Sanjay dot static dot website, right? Static website, or I can do one thing. I need to just post it over. Let me show you. Just a minute. Go, Daddy. I need to just host it, right? I just need to host it. Yeah. Okay. What I'm doing, I'm creating a bucket W3C dot avatartechnology.in. Let's say this is a bucket or container I'm creating, right, in Mumbai. Okay. And and I want to just make some changes to share it. I'm just going to share it because this should be a public if you want to access your content of the website over the internet, right? And the encryption is allowed, server-side encryption. And you see your bucket is created. Your bucket is not available. Okay, your bucket is not available, so you can say Sanjay, sanjay.avatartechnologies.in. Will it be okay? Perfect. So I created a subdomain name with Sanjay, right? So here I have sanjay.avatar. So this is your bucket, right? And in this bucket, I'm just going to upload uh, the template of the website. Where is my template of the website? Let's say I have a template in my folder. The folder is, let me just see, where's the folder? Where's the folder? Yeah, I got the folder. Perfect. This is the folder, right? What I'm doing, I'm selecting all these files. This is a these all files are basically of a static website. So I'm just selecting all this and I'm pasting here in my bucket. So it means I selected all these files to upload, right? So almost 63 files are selected and I'm uploading them. So from my laptop in AWS S3 storage, all these 63 files of this static website are uploading. So I have a template of a static website. So first of all, I have to means upload all these files in storage space S3. But still, I didn't create any server. Just understand, right? And now you have to share all this content. And for that, you will select all these objects, go to action, and make your content public. Make public. So your content is public. You can see in this green strip, right? And close. Very nice. Now go to the property tab to publish it, right? You go to the properties tab and go down very scroll down till last, right? Till last. Let me show you. Yeah. Do you see the static website hosting? So right now, static website hosting is disabled. So if you enable it, your website will be hosted. So you, in front of static website hosting, we have a edit button. Click on edit, and right now static website hosting is disabled. You have to change its state, and now you are enabling it. As you click on enable, it will ask you, you want to host a website? Yeah, I'll say yes. And here you need to put index document of your website. My index document is index.html, right? So it was basically in those 63 files. An error document I don't have, and nothing. You just do it. Great. So your configuration is done. Everything is done. Again, go to property, and just just choose the same section, static website hosting, but this time it has been configured, and this is the URL, right? If you select the URL and you try to open it, right? You try to open it and see this website is hosted. Can you see? This website is hosted. So in a few seconds, I was just teaching you, I was just explaining you, that's why I took little time. But in a minute, you can host a website. And now, let's say I want to just open this website with a domain name. And I need a public domain name for that, right? So what I'll do, I'll go back to uh, called service. At the service. Right. Okay. I'll go to Route 53. Route 53 is a DNS service in my uh, AWS account, right? So I created a hosted zone actually here. Hosted zone is a container for the domain. So my domain was avatartechnologies.in, right? So I created a hosted zone. Simply you can just click on here hosted zone and name it. It will be done. And now what I'm doing, I want to just add. Oh my God. So I don't need much. Let me just find out, is it configured or not. So only two names I do not want to, two records I do not want to delete, and the rest record I want to delete. Right, it is okay. So these are okay. And what I will do, I will just create a record for my simple routing, and I need to define a record. Let's say for a record, but my endpoint is S3 bucket. S3 bucket. Where is S3 bucket? This is the website, and the subdomain name is Sanjay, right? And here we have in Mumbai, and this is Sanjay.avatartechnology.in, right? And you can simply create a record, right? I don't know, will that work or not? Let me see, because if it is already configured with the GoDaddy, then it will work, right? So my website URL is now sanjay.avatartechnologies.in. Let me just go and see. If everything is configured, it will work. If it is not configured, it will take time, right? So it means sanjay.avatartechnologies.in. So it will take time. And for that, you have to check actually, you have to check, uh, just a minute. You have to check these name servers. Actually, the name servers are caching servers in ISPN. So these name servers you will copy in some notepad. You just open a notepad and paste these, right. Okay, and remove all these last dot which are not required, and go to GoDaddy and just check whether this domain name servers are same or we have to change, right? So we go to DNS and we have a name server and see, yes, these are different, right? I can see these are 39, 36, 00, but these are the different, right? So you will change server, change name servers, remove all these older entries of name servers in the GoDaddy and copy them. This is very important thing. You copy them in GoDaddy to make connection between GoDaddy and AWS, right? Because you purchased a domain name from GoDaddy, but your website is hosted in AWS. So there must be a link between AWS and GoDaddy. So what you are doing, AWS is providing these name servers. So you are copying all these name servers, and one by one, you are entering in GoDaddy's name servers entry. So this way, so if any website, if somebody access this website with sanjay.avatartechnologies.in, so automatically that traffic will be routed in AWS. And in AWS, you know that we are already we can access this website, right? This is working. So this particular URL will be routed to sanjayavatartechnologies.in. So this is the thing, and this has been configured, right? This has been configured, and what you have to do, you have to stay here for a few minutes. Immediately, that will not work. And this configuration can be effective in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and in few hours as well, right? It can take up to 48 hours. This is basically the TAT maximum ISP is providing you. So this configuration can take 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, depend, right? Means your internet name servers will automatically update, but this link is working. So in your actually uh, your root S3, this website has been hosted. If you want, I'm sharing. I cannot share, I think, right? Okay. So this is configured. But in a few minutes, if everything is okay, it will open through this as well. Sanjay.avatartechnologies.in. Let me try. But according to me, it will take time. So right now it is not yet published. Right. Okay. This was the one thing. So we will stay here. So meantime, you can do something else. What the next thing we can do? The next thing is, can we create a virtual server? Yes, definitely we can create a virtual server. Let's we try Windows Server. Do you know Windows Server 2023? If you launch a Windows Server, how much time it should take to launch? So generally it should take at least 15-20 minutes to launch. And I want to take it remote as well, right? So go there, and to host a machine, actually, uh, we have a service. We have a service called EC2. What is service? EC2. Here you will write EC2. EC2 stand for Elastic Compute Cloud. I'm giving only demonstration. Just understand. I'm not teaching any step by step service, but that will take time because if you see this documentation, all these are notes, very effective notes. See, this is the machine we have. Let's say I'm just going to launch a Linux machine or a Windows machine. So every machine you are creating here has some component. So here you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and final 5 components. The first component is the AMI. AMI stand for Amazon Machine Image. It's a template of an operating system, or you can say it's an image of an operating system. Here we are not using any ISO images. to install operating system. We are using image provided by AWS, and that image is known as AMI. AMI is an image of operating system. We have more than 8,500 various images in AWS. You just think about an image, you will find that image. For example, any Windows operating system, any Linux flavor, whether it is a Linux, a Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu, SUSE, Kali, right, and Debian, any, you just think about any like CentOS, Fedora, think about any Linux. You think about any Windows server which is live, right? Like 2016, 2020, 2023, whatever. So all those are available, right? And a number of various firewalls like Cisco firewall, Fortinet firewall, Palo Alto firewall, intrusion prevention system, intrusion detection system. So more than 8,500 ready-made images AWS is providing you. Okay, you have not to bring your own software. You have to just think about how to configure it for your personal need. And sometimes AWS is providing that configuration as well through the services. Now, you can also provide a configuration to the machine called instance type. This is the second thing. Third, you can provide a hard disk to this virtual machine, which is known as EBS, Elastic Block Store. Fourth, you can provide security mechanism to filter incoming as well as outgoing traffic. This is known as security group. And fifth is key pair to access the machine from the internet. Right. So when you launch this machine, these five things are important, and we will learn everything one by one. Right. So here we go. So meantime, so what I'm doing, I'm creating first of all this machine, and meantime that domain will be configured. Right. So you go there and just click on EC2. Your EC2 dashboard is open. So I can see I'm in Mumbai here, right? I'm in Mumbai. I have one machine is running. So what I'm doing, I'm stopping this machine and let me just launch a new machine instead of this one, right? So how to launch a machine? You go to launch instance, write the name of the server. Let's say this is my Windows Windows uh, Windows server, Windows server, and what server I can take, what server I can take. This is the server, right? This is the Windows server. 2022. This is the 2022 base server, right? This is server. Any name you can write. You can write your name, company name, server name, purpose of the server, anything. But it should specify the name of the server. And here I'm choosing AMI. The which image you will choose for Windows Server? Definitely, this is my Windows Server. I was saying we have more than 8,000, more than 8,000 AMIs. Those 8,000 AMIs you can access from browse more AMIs from here. So we will discuss about in our course. I will show you all these things, right? And here, Microsoft Windows Server 2022 base. This I selected, and it's a free of cost, free tier. And instance type is T2.micro is a free of cost, but I need a little, some speed. So what I'm doing, I'm taking C5.2x large. This is great. I'm taking 2x large. I'm taking right, and C key pair for authentication. Let's say I'm just putting my key name Sanjay dot Mumbai Mumbai dot key. Okay, so this is my key name, and I want to create a key. AWS will ask you to download the key. Okay, no issues. I'm downloading that key with the same name in my download folder in my computer. Good. So this is the key has been created. Network setting I'm taking by default. I don't want to indulge in more. And this is your, let's say, this is your firewall, right? So RDP to be allowed to take remote of this machine. and 30 GB hard disk. You can grow up to 16 TB, right? So we'll discuss about why all these are, because these are the different type of EBS volumes depend on the use case, on the basis of performance, speed, volume, size, everything, right? Other features as well. And but for GP2 is okay. If you like GP3, we can take. GP3 is much faster as compared to GP2. And here we go, and just click on launch instance, right? This is the launch instance, and here we, this is done, and view all this. This is great. Your machine is started. Machine has been started. Can you see? Machine is running. It's so fast, right? This is too fast. And this is the public IP address of this machine, right? And how to take the remote of this machine? It's simple. So you have to stay here for a few minutes because this is the configuration. And what you will do if you want to take the remote of this machine, RDP is already allowed, right? During that configuration, you go to connect and just click on RDP client here and see if you need to get the password first. So this is the password. For password, you need the same sanjay.mumbai.key, and you go to that download folder, and this is the key. You can click on open, and the key is selected. You decrypt the password, and this is the password is provided, right? So you just copy the password and now download RDP to take the remote of the machine. And RDP will be downloaded in the download folder. And let's say once it is done, you can start this RDP, paste that password here, you copied from here, and okay, and yes. And you see your machine has been started. My God, right? So in a few seconds, your machine has been started. And I'm talking about it's our latest version 2022, right? And you have the machine. So, and now if you want to configure this machine as a web server, Active Directory, application server, or any other type of server like any server, you can configure it, right? This is the thing. So this way you created a server. And now one more demonstration I want to give you. Let's say how to how to host a website on the server with the help of a script. Even you don't know what is a Linux. Let's say you don't know Linux, and I ask you to just configure a web server on Linux. How much time you will take, right? You just cancel it first of all. This machine is not required. Okay, so unnecessary you should not run the machine. Either you can stop the machine or you can terminate the machine. Terminate means you can delete the machine. So what I'm doing, I'm terminating the machine. This machine is not required anymore. You select the machine, go ahead, terminate. So this will be done. So this way you will not get any additional charges, right? Now it's a time to just give you a little idea about how you can launch machine in Linux and how you can configure as a web server. So you go to launch instance, write the name. Let's say this is web Apache server. Of course in Linux, right? Server. And I have Linux machine, Linux AMI. Instead of a T2.micro, what I'm doing, you can take T2.micro, that will work, right? C5.x large. I'm taking this one. And this is my key. Where's the key? I think I just created a key. Let's say this was the key I just created. I'm taking the same key. Network setting will remain same. Public IP address must be enabled of this machine. And this machine's, HTTP is allowed from anywhere. And 8 GB EBS volume, hard disk volume is sufficient for now. Up to 30 GB is free of cost in free tier account. And in advance, actually, in advanced detail, I want to actually copy a script here, right? So that script is available in the form of file. So what I'm doing, I'm just selecting that file. That file is available with me. So what I'm doing, I'm selecting that file. This file is basically kind of a code of commands, right? Script. So it's a Linux script and it will configure my machine. And this is index.html file here. Let's say green, instead of a green, I want to give a background color in pink. And here in a text, I'm saying this is my web server, right? Server demonstration. Okay, let's say this is a web server demonstration, right? I hope this will work. And today I just write 2023. Good. And what I'll do, I just launch this instance. The job is done. Your machine will be launched, your operating system will be launched, your and operating system will configured, and that application also is configured. So this machine will behave like a what? Behave like what? Behave like a server, right? See, you go down and view all and see this machine, this machine, this machine. Where is that machine? Where is that machine? Yeah, this is the machine. Or you can just, filter it, state equals to running. It will show you. This is my server and this is the public IP address. You go to the public IP address. That will take time, right? It will configure, but if you type the IP address in the browser, you're going to see it has been configured. It has been launched and it has been configured. You can see even, right? Even you can try at your end. If you open browser and just type 3.7.73.162, you will be able to access it. And what happened to that machine? I was just talking about. Yes, I was talking about, right? So this was the first my configuration, and I was thinking that this should work. Great. Sanjay.avatartechnology.in. Can you see here? And it is starting work. So both configuration are completed, correct or not? So this you have used through the domain name or subdomain name, and this you have used through IP address, private IP address. This is a public IP address. This is a public IP address of machine. So this is a server-based website, and that was serverless website. In this case, we don't have a serverless. And we saw that how to launch Windows Server as well. This way, you can create a network, introduce firewalls. You can just manage securities like web application firewalls. Number of things are there. If you have a proper knowledge, it means you are opening a new gate to opportunities. Because once the AWS solution architect is clear, then only you can go for security specialist, network specialist, forensic specialist, where the lot of opportunities are there. Even you can have a very good the package of your means salary. So guys, uh, definitely the hard work is required, but it is really interesting. I hope you like this session, right? And number of things I just tried to explain. And if you have any question, you can just go through uh, our supporters, and we are providing the facility to online discussions as well. And you can talk to our technical team as well, our supporting team as well in networkings. And we are coming from very uh, the huge background. So we have more than 20-25 years experience in this field. You can understand so how much work we have done. So that experience we want to transfer you. So with the less efforts, you should make your career. So thanks everyone. We hope uh, everything was fine. And if you need any question, you can just please reach us. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone, and good night. We'll meet again.
Thank you, sir.
Good night. Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you, sir.
Sanjay, do we have a class tomorrow?
Excuse me, sir.
So this is a weekend batch or this is week batch?
Yeah, this actually this is a weekend batch.
Okay, okay,
So we are talking about because Saturdays and Sundays. So we are
okay. That
planning that 7 to 9 uh, Saturday and 7 to 9 Sunday. And
okay, okay.
it
Thank you,
is
sir.
basically depend on actually the majority of people. If they are ready for 7 to 9, so it's okay. Otherwise, we can also increase little time as well. But in the beginning, I think the 2 hours is a good time. 4 hours in a week is a good because lot of things you have to study, lot of things you have to prepare, lot of topics and exercises will be there, and gradually we can increase the duration as well. That takes almost 2 months time to complete, approximately means 45 days to 2 months time to
Okay,
complete
sir.
this program.
So tomorrow do we have class or?
Yeah, definitely we have it in tomorrow class, definitely on the same time. And tomorrow we are just going to start the class seriously. Tomorrow is the first session. Today was the demonstration, right?
Yes, today.
It was just a overview, kind of a overview. It's a kind of introduction with us. And tomorrow will be a first class.
Okay,
Great.
sir.
Sanjay, I have
Okay.
not got any class ID information. I've
Fazil,
enrolled in
Yes,
a
sir. I
voice
was.
is voice is not coming to me properly. Will you try once again?
yeah, yeah. I have not received the class ID information.
Fazil, I'll ask our team to just reach you. Fazil, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, did you provide your information to our team?
Yeah, I have given everything. But today I have got the
Okay,
guest link only. I've tried that live link, but it's asking me the class
okay,
ID to enter it.
okay. I'll update Fazil. I,
Okay.
I'm just going to update my team, right?
Yeah, for me
Okay.
also, sir. My name is Raju, sir.
Oh,
For me also.
Just please note down. Well, let me note down. Just give me a minute.
yes, sir. Even my name,
Just a
Romit.
minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah, the first name is Fazil.
My name is
Second name is Raju.
Yes, sir. Yeah. See Raju.
C Raju. Just a minute.
Yeah. Yes.
C Raju. And who is the third one?
Romit.
My name is Vikas.
Gaurav. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Sanjay sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello. My name is Vikas. I'm also not getting class ID.
Okay. Vikas. Okay.
Even my name, sir. Even my name, sir. Romit.
Romit. Okay. Romit. So, guys, did you provide your information online to our team?
Yes.
Yes.
We provided the information. In fact, today itself in the morning, I got a message on my WhatsApp stating that you have a demo class. And I guess I was informed it a bit late. I got all of my information around 8:40 or 8:45, and I joined.
Uh-huh.
And I was not able to. I actually missed the beginning of this demo as well.
Yeah, I got it. You missed I yes in the beginning.
Please,
No
sir.
issues. Tomorrow is
Sanjay,
a tomorrow is a
do we have any
yeah yeah
WhatsApp
I
group?
yeah Sarkar. I just noted down your name as well. And Ashwin Natraj, you got the link or not? Okay, guys. So I'm going to update this information among them, and tomorrow same time, 7 o'clock we'll meet again.
Sanjay, I have one query. If you don't mind, please help me. Actually, I'm into cyber security, so I thought to learn of this AWS. How this will
Mhm.
help to achieve in my career? Will this help me?
See. There are two things: cyber security, right? So what you're doing cyber security and how much experience you have in cyber security?
I have 7+ experience in the security domain. my
Very nice.
entry.
Solid experience. You have very solid experience, but you will not have any experience over the cloud. Am I correct?
Correct.
Right, right. But your fundamentals are really strong and you have very solid experience, 7 years. Because even for last 10 years, I'm into cybersecurity, right? I used to give my services to armed forces. By the way, uh, see, in cloud computing, whether you're talking about Azure or AWS, uh, so we have a tremendous requirement of security specialist. The only concern is you must have a the fundamental clear. You must have a very solid knowledge about this. And in AWS, you see approximately 20 separate services are available for security. And if you see the security specialist course curriculum, I will provide you if you don't have, because right now it's not a right time. But once we start this, but for to just enter into security specialist, you in AWS, you must have a very clear idea about AWS solution architect. So AWS solution architect is a first level of certification, and then you can do any certification for specialty like security, networking, databases, business intelligence. But if you're talking about scope, so scope is tremendous, and these days companies are not finding real people with real knowledge in cybersecurity and in forensics, because I'm directly connected with few companies. I will not name those companies, and those companies are international companies, and they having more than 50,000 employees. Still, they are lacking. They are struggling. They are not finding good professional in security and forensic. Are you listening me, Fazil?
Yeah, understood. Understood.
So what is important? What I'm trying to explain you? What is important? Important
So
is your experience definitely will work because you have a very good fundamentals clear. You have very strong background. The only thing is you need to understand in a new platform how you will implement it using services. So once your architecture level of certification is completed, it would be easier for you to just migrate on specialty certification. And we are going to start uh, that part as well very soon,
okay, fine. I
right?
because I have joined late. So in CD you might have provided the roadmap for the certification. Is it so? Please share me that image or any PDF.
Okay.
We
Okay,
will.
okay, okay. We will work on that, and we will share definitely with you. This is a good idea.
Okay, okay,
So
okay,
definitely,
fine.
because that will help you to understand where exactly I am right now and how much effort I have to do to just achieve that level. Correct?
Correct, correct.
Okay, guys. So we are closing the session for the day. I think you enjoyed today's session, and tomorrow we are going to conduct the first class of this session, right? Of
Okay,
this
sir.
batch.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
sir.
Good
Thank you, sir.
night. Good night,
Uh,
everyone.
sir, sir, I have
Good night.
I have one last question.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, actually, I missed the beginning of the session. So, is there anything I need to be prepared for tomorrow's lecture?
No, no, no,
Are
no,
there any?
nothing, nothing. I'll start from scratch, zero from zero, right?
Okay, 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 okay. Thank you, sir.
I'll start from zero. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Thank you.